Hi there, and welcome to practice. Today's class is dedicated to my niece, Mila Joan Kuttenkuler. This sequence is designed to capture some of the ways in which Mila has influenced me and some of her qualities. I hope you enjoy it. You might want 2 blocks, as well as a strap, and maybe a water. Take a moment to get comfortable, and if it feels right, to blink your eyes to closed. Notice any sensations in sitting up cross-legged creates in your body, as well as the sensation of breath in your body. Begin to release your hands down. And with your inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, fill up with breath. And exhale, float your arms back down the path they lifted. Inhale, stretch your arms up and overhead. And exhale, float them back down. Last one, guided inhale, reach up and overhead. Feel the stretch in your shoulders. And exhale, release your hands back down. Now take 3 more of these on your own with your own breath and your own movement, lengthening your spine with each inhale, grounding down with each exhale. When you're complete, take a moment to roll out your neck a few times in each direction, noticing all the crinkles and crunches and pops along the way. Begin to relax your chin to your chest and create a fist behind you, reaching your fist back and down for a shoulder opener and back of neck stretch. Now release your fist, bring your peace fingers to your third eye, and use that to gently lift your head back to neutral. We'll make our way into child's pose next, so bring your knees to the width of your space, your feet together, reach your hips back towards your heels, and extend your arms forward. We'll be working into our shoulders and our heart today. So option for reverse prayer hands, bringing your palms together, bending your elbows, and dropping your thumbs towards the nape of your neck. If so, you might extend your elbows forward just a touch for an extra tricep stretch. We'll also be opening hips here, so breathe into that sensation of this gentle hip opener. And relax your body. It can be a good time to start to move into your ujjayi breath, that oceanic breath that's a little bit more audible and texturized. Now if your elbows have bent, extend them back to long. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, walk your hands to the top right side of your mat, perhaps placing your left hand on top of your right. Sink your hips and shoulders back down evenly and breathe into the left side of your body. Use your next inhale to walk your hands back to center and exhale to the top left side of your mat. Again, sink shoulders and hips down evenly. And you might press into your knees and your forearms. Use that leverage to bow out through the right side of your rib cage, creating a little bit more stretch. Again, with your next inhale, walk your hands back to neutral And then exhale, press into hands and knees, shift your way forward into tabletop shape. Stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And with your next inhale, cow pose, drop your belly down as you lift your gaze and your tailbone. Following exhale is cat, arch your spine, tuck your tail, drop your gaze, engage your core. Inhale, find your way back to your cow pose, perhaps pulling elbows and knees towards one another for a little extra stretch. And exhale, cats, perhaps pressing away to create that stretch. Now you have a few more rounds of breath to alternate between the two, or find any other free movements here that help loosen up spine, shoulders, and hips. After your next exhale breath, make your way back to your neutral spine tabletop. We'll prepare for a core warm-up. Inhale, spinal balance. Lift your left arm in front, your right leg behind, engage your core. Maybe circle out wrist and ankle once or twice in each direction, just loosening them up. Coming back to stillness, inhale, reach, and exhale, bring your elbow to your knee below you, engage your core. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one, inhale, reach, and exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, spinal balance. And exhale, half bow. Bend your right knee, reach your left hand around to capture your foot. If you don't get the grip, just reach. If you do, kick foot into hand to open up quad, shoulder, and heart. Take one more inhale. And exhale, release to spinal balance. And then back to tabletop. Take a moment here to shake this out. And then we'll find our way back to our neutral tabletop. Inhale, spinal balance, lift your right arm in front, left leg behind. And again, maybe circle out wrist and ankle. Come back to stillness, inhale, reach. And exhale, bird dog, elbow to knee. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, connect. Inhale, reach. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, spinal balance. And exhale, half bow, bend your left leg. Reach your right hand around to capture your foot. Again, maybe kick foot into hand and dial your right shoulder slightly down so your shoulder stays square. One more breath in. And exhale, find your way back to spinal balance. And then from there, back to tabletop. Take a moment to shake this out. Now begin to walk your hands forward for heart melt. You'll stack your hips over your knees and begin to rest your heart down towards the mat. You can flip your palms to face in if your shoulders don't feel great in this shape. And then as much as possible, relax into this front line of body stretch. Now with your next inhale, begin to press into your hands and walk them back underneath you for tabletop shape. And then spread your fingers wide, step back to your high plank position, top of a push-up. Strengthen your body here, engage your legs by lifting your kneecaps up a little bit towards your hips. And hug your navel up and in, using that leverage to lift your hips in line with your shoulders. Gaze an inch or two in front of you so your head stays lifted, and unclench your jaw. Inhale here, and exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips up and back. You have a little time here to work your dog, so you might pedal out your legs, or maybe sway your hips from side to side. Some alignment cues, spread your fingers wide, and press your hands forward to melt your heart back towards your thighs. Tilt your tailbone high towards the ceiling here, and soften your knees if that feels better for your hamstrings. Enjoy one more inhale here. And exhale, ragdoll, begin to tiptoe your feet forward to meet your hands. Feet can arrive hip-width distance, perhaps a little wider. And feel free to bend your knees generously here to allow yourself to really relax through the upper body. Now interlace your hands behind you and reach your fist up and overhead for a little shoulder opener. Take a few rounds of breath into this stretch. One more inhale here. And exhale, release your fist to your back and then your hands down to the mat. Toe-heel your feet to hip-width distance or bring your big toes to touch. Soften your knees and round up one vertebra at a time, taking your time finding standing. Once you're there, you might roll out your shoulders or your neck or both. And once you've acclimated to standing, we'll meet with our hands at heart center. Eyes can blink to close if that feels okay. If you have any personal dedication or intention for this class, take a moment to bring that to your mind and your heart space. And we'll inhale into whatever that is. And with your exhale, you can begin to blink your eyes open. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead, upward salute. Really press the ground away here, engaging your legs, hug your navel up and in. Energize your arms, relax your shoulders. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, cactus back bend. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your heart. Maybe soften your knees to give your lower back a little space. Inhale, release, arms reach overhead. And exhale, cactus back bend. Inhale, release. Exhale, cactus back bend. Inhale, release. Exhale, last one. Inhale, upward salute. And exhale, dive over your legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your fingertips to your shins and your back to straight. And exhale, release down. Plant your hands, step back to your high plank position. Feel free to drop your knees down for support as you lower all the way down to your stomach. Elbows point back on the way down. As you arrive, untuck your toes. And inhale, low cobra. Curl your heart up using the strength of your back. Tuck your chin here, reach the crown of your head forward, and maybe press into your toes for a little bit more lift. Inhale, lift a little higher, and exhale, release back down. 2 more to go. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, tap your chin to the mat. Inhale, low cobra. And then slide your elbows underneath your shoulders for Sphinx pose. Arms make an L shape. From here, bring your left hand diagonal, so left hand towards right. And then begin to bend your right knee. Reach your right hand around to capture your foot, perhaps bringing your hand to the top of your foot and using that grip to pull your heel towards your glute. Work it more towards the outside of your glute for a nice quad stretch here. And then press the ground away with your left forearm to stay lifted through the heart. With your next exhale, gently release your right foot back down. Revisit Sphinx pose. And then bring your right arm to the diagonal, bend your left knee. Capture your left foot if accessible. And again, pull it towards your glute. Lift your heart and breathe into this quad stretch. Half frog. Again, exhale to gently release your foot back down. And then stack one forearm on top of the other, dropping your forehead to your forearms for crocodile pose. You can bend your knees and windshield wiper your feet from side to side for a little back release from that heart opener. Once your back feels settled, you can start to extend your legs long behind you. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, press the ground away to tabletop or high plank, it's your choice. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. We're here for an inhale breath. And a breath out. Now inhale, bend your knees, look between your hands. Exhale, step, or hop to the top of your space, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward folds. Bend your knees, inhale, chair pose, arms reach up and overhead. Bring your weight back towards your heels, and then peek down, make sure you can see at least your toes past your knees. Pull your knees towards one another, and engage your core. Lift your heart by bringing your thumbs a little bit more behind you and perhaps deepen into your chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arms. Bring your arms behind you, palms face down. Weight comes more towards your toes here. Torso more parallel to the mat. Gaze is straight down. Keep engaging through the core here. And now we'll flow through twice more breath to movement. So inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, chair. Exhale, chair plane. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, dive over straight legs, forward fold. Nice job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to your high plank position. From there, chaturanga or not on your way to down dog. If flowing, inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg behind you, bend your knee, open up your hip, maybe circling out ankle and or knee. Now inhale, re-extend, three-legged dog, hips are even, and exhale, bring your knee to your nose, stack your shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, re-extend, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, one more three-legged dog, and exhale, step or guide your foot through to your lunge. Feel free to double over the left side of your mat as you tap your left knee down for crescent moon. From there, walk your hands to your thighs and then up and overhead, allowing your hips to sink forward. Always an option here to toe heel the right foot a little further right to assist with balance. Relax your shoulders. And now bring your right hand back to your right thigh. Bend your left knee behind you and reach your left hand around to capture your foot. If you get it, stay there, or maybe bring your right hand back to meet it. Once you have this quad stretch, if accessible, you can sink back into your hip stretch. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Now begin to gently release your foot. Tap your hands down to the mat, and then walk hands and hips back for half splits. Your right leg will come to straight here. Perhaps bring blocks underneath your hands to lift your heart a little bit, allowing you to keep your spine straight. Reach your hips back towards the short edge of your mat behind you, and your heart towards your toes. One more inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Crawl your hands forward and your hips forward. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee off of the mat. Inhale, arms reach overhead, crescent lunge. Take a moment here to square your hips, bumping your left hip forward, right hip back. Engage your core and pull your feet towards one another. Now press into your back toe, stacking your left heel over your left toes. Inhale, gaze up, and exhale, cactus back bend. Just like when we were standing, squeeze your shoulder blades. Perhaps sink a little deeper into your lunge. Inhale, release, crescent lunge, and exhale, open up, warrior two. Take a moment to find your stance and to engage your legs by pulling your feet towards one another. Now move into eagle arms with your right arm below your left. If you have a hard time finding the full wrap, you can move into a bear hug, hugging your shoulders. Otherwise, lift your arms into your field of vision and reach your thumbs slightly away from your forehead to maximize your shoulder stretch. Sink back into your lunge and re-engage your core. One more inhale. Exhale, eagle arms release. And inhale, reverse your warrior. Flip your right palm, reach up and overhead. Left arm can graze your left thigh, come to your hip, or move into a half bind, reaching for your right thigh. Use your inhales to reach back into your side body stretch, and your exhales to drive your lunge. Final breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, reach your arms to a T, and then reach forward. When you can't reach anymore, drop your right elbow to your thigh, reach your left arm up and overhead. Now press into your right elbow and use that leverage to twist your heart more towards the ceiling, perhaps gazing up to complete your twist. Inhale, reverse triangle. Reach your right arm up and overhead. Soft straighten your right knee. Send breath into the right side of your rib cage. Take one more inhale breath here. And exhale, low lunge. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra if you're flowing. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg behind you. Again, bend your knee, open up your hip, take some time to explore. Inhale, re-extend, three-legged dog. And exhale, tap knee to nose, engage your core. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot through. And then drop your right knee down for crescent moon. Once you feel stable, reach your arms up and overhead and allow your hips to sink forward. Relax your shoulders down your back and unclench your jaw. And bring your left hand back to your left knee. Bend your right leg behind you and reach around to capture your foot. If you get the grip, stay there, or maybe reach your left arm around to capture your foot as well. Sink back into your hips and squeeze your shoulder blades for your hamstring and shoulder stretch. And now gently release the grip on your foot. Plant your hands and walk your hands and your hips back for half splits. Reach your tailbone back towards the back edge of your mat. And keep your heart lifted here, reaching the crown of your head forward. With your next inhale, crawl back forward to your lunge. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee, and then reach your arms up and overhead for your crescent lunge. You can take a moment here to square your hips. You'll pull your feet towards one another. Take another inhale here. And exhale, cactus back bend, squeeze your shoulder blades, puff up your heart. Maybe sink a little deeper into your lunge. Inhale, release, crescent moon. And exhale, warrior two, open up. Take a moment to set your stance. And then move into your eagle arms, this time left arm below right. Once your arms are set up, you can gaze over your left shoulder. Pull your feet towards one another, deepen back into your lunge. Now begin to unfurl your arms. Inhale, flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and overhead. Perhaps gaze back towards your back toes for a little neck stretch. Don't forget to drive your lunge here. One more breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward, forward, forward. Drop left elbow to left thigh, right arm reaches up and overhead. Roll your right shoulder down your back. And press more into the knife edge of your back foot, allowing that arch to lift. Find more engagement through the side of your core. Inhale, reverse triangle. Right left arm pulls up and overhead. Take another inhale breath here. And exhale, low lunge, hands plant to frame your front foot, step to your back toes. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga or not. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to come back into your breath. We'll be walking through a modified version of this flow in just a moment. Let's begin. Inhale, lift your right leg. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Tap your right knee down. Inhale, crescent moon, arms reach overhead. And exhale, half splits, come back. Inhale, crescent lunge, crawl forward, find your balance. And exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high plank, step back. Exhale, chaturanga or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Tap your right knee down. Inhale, crescent moon. And exhale to half splits. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, optional chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, take a moment for a break. We'll walk this through in a little bit, adding on a bit at the end. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Tap your left knee down. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Add on coming, inhale, star pose. Arms reach overhead. And exhale, goddess, toes out, heels in, sit low. Take a moment, maybe find a little shift side to side. And pull your knees slightly back to stack over your ankles here. Now inhale, lift back up, star pose. And exhale, bring your hands to your hips, parallel your feet. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, prasarita, dive forward. Hands can tap down to your mats or blocks when you get about halfway there. Now interlace your hands behind you. And if available, reach your fist up and overhead. Bring your weight towards your toes. Relax your neck. Now begin to release your hands to your back, and then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, low lunge to the top of your space. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga or not. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, tap your right knee down. Inhale, crescent moon. And exhale, half splits. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, star pose. And exhale, goddess, sink low. Inhale, shoot up, star pose. Exhale, hands to hips, parallel your feet. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, prasarita, dive forward. Again, take a few moments here to hang. Option for an inversion if that's in your practice. Begin to release your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, low lunge to the top of your space. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now begin to walk your hands back to meet your feet. So we'll meet in a forward fold in the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center, and then down by your sides. Setting up for dancer's pose. Begin to bring your weight to your right leg, lift your left. Capture your left foot from the inside or the outside, and then reach your right arm overhead. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, begin to kick your left foot into your left hand to start to stretch out your quad, heart, and shoulder. Point your left knee straight down here. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Take a moment to shake it out. I'll show you side two from the side. This time you'll bend your right knee, capture it from the inside or the outside. Inhale, arms reach overhead. And exhale, dancer's pose, begin to kick foot into hands. So starting to create that bow shape from the foot kicking into the hands and reaching and lifting up through the heart. One more inhale. And exhale, gently release. Again, shake it out. And eventually make your way to a seat on your mat with your yoga strap. We'll bring the strap between our hands and then overhead so our arms make a Y shape. Inhale here. And with your exhale, simply bring the yoga strap in front of you. Now inhale, bring it back overhead. And exhale, start to bring it behind you, widening your grip as much as needed. Inhale, back overhead. And exhale, begin to alternate back and forth. You have a few more rounds of breath here. As your shoulders start to loosen, you might wiggle your hands a little closer to one another to re-intensify the stretch. After this next one, we'll meet with our arms up and overhead. Inhale. And exhale, tilt over to the right, stretching the left side of your body. Inhale, lift back up to neutral. And exhale, tilt to the left, stretching the other side. Inhale, back to neutral. And exhale, release your strap in front of you. From there, we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Any way you'd like to get there. Feel free to take a chaturanga if you'd like. Now inhale, lift your right leg behind you. And exhale, pigeon pose. Bring your right knee to your right wrist, your shin across your right ankle to your left wrist. You might toe heel your left foot a little further behind you to intensify the hip stretch. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, stay lifted or begin to crawl forward to put your pigeon to sleep. You can rest your forehead on a block or on stacked forearms. Relax your shoulders and breathe into the stretch. If this doesn't feel good in your front leg, feel free to flip over onto your back and take a figure four instead. Now begin to walk your hands back up towards you. Once you've come to a seat, twist a little bit to the left towards your extended knee, setting up for mermaid. Begin to bend your left knee behind you, reach back, see if you can capture your foot. If you'd like a little bit more, begin to bend your left elbow, bringing your foot to your left elbow. Stay here or engage your core and your legs, lift your right arm overhead, clasp hands, and you're a mermaid. Engage your core here to protect your spine. Now gently release your hands. Gently release your back foot. Turn back to face the front, tuck your back toes under, and then lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to shake this out. It can feel good to bend your right knee, open up your hip, maybe circle out your ankle, or if you like wild thing, flip your dog, plant your foot, reach your right arm up and overhead. If you flipped your dog, flip back over, and we'll set up for side 2. Inhale, lift your left leg, and exhale, pigeon pose, left knee to left wrist, shin across left ankle to right. Adjust your right foot. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, surrender forward to sleeping pigeon if you wish. Take a moment here to relax into the stretch. Begin to walk your hands back up towards you. Twist towards your right, extended leg. Start to bend your right knee, capture your foot. Stay there, or maybe you can slide your foot into your elbow. Stay there, or maybe you reach your left arm up and overhead, clasping hands for mermaid pose. Engage, pull your legs towards one another, engage your core. Lengthen your spine. And then gently release your grip. Release your foot. Untwist. Tuck your back toes under. Send your left leg up and overhead. Maybe open up your hip. Maybe flip your dog to wild thing. Pressing the ground away, lifting your heart, reaching up and overhead. Flip your dog back over if you flipped it. And then begin to bend your knees, tap your knees down onto the mat. From here, swing your legs in front of you. Extend your legs long in front of you for a seated forward bend. Arrange your sits bones behind you. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinge forward into your stretch. Option here to use your strap to lengthen your arms, to pull onto your feet for a little extra sensation, or just surrender and breathe into the stretch. Begin to crawl your hands back up towards your legs, coming into a seat on your mat. And then bend your knees, scoot forward so your toes touch the top of your space. Take your strap with you, reach your arms forward, and begin to roll down onto your back. Nice and slow and controlled, getting a little bit more core work in. Once you arrive, you can set your strap off to the side, and then walk your feet a little closer to your hips for bridge pose. Inhale, press into your feet to lift your hips high into the air for bridge. Feel free to slide a block underneath your hips for restorative bridge, or to interlace your hands behind you for a little extra lift. One more inhale. Exhale, gently lower back down. Once your hips have touched the mat, bring your feet together and your knees out wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. Now bring your hands underneath your knees and use them to close your knees up towards the ceiling of your space. Locate your yoga strap and loop it around the ball of your right foot. Extend your right leg long towards the ceiling, and your left leg can relax long on your mat. Use your strap to pull your right leg in towards you for a hamstring stretch. Feel free to relax your elbows on the mat here. Final breath in. And exhale, bring your strap-ins to your right hand. Open your right leg out to the right. Keep your left hip heavy. You can bring left hip to left hip point, or maybe left arm to T or cactus to help with that. With your next inhale, bring your leg back to neutral. Pass the strap to your left hand, and exhale, IT band stretch. Keep both hips planted and dial your right foot a little bit across your body until you feel that outer hip stretch. Now moving into our twist, allow your right hip to roll off of the mat. Reach your right arm out to a T or a cactus as a counterweight, perhaps gaze over it. With your next inhale, guide your right leg back overhead, and then swap it out. Left leg in the strap, right leg rests on your mat. Begin to pull your left leg in towards you for your hamstring stretch. One more inhale here. And exhale, bring the strap-ins to your left hand, open your left leg out to the left. Right hip stays heavy on this side. Inhale, bring your leg back to neutral. Pass the strap to your right hand, and exhale, IT band stretch. Keep your hips planted, shift your left leg just a little to the right, feel the stretch. Now complete the twist. Left hip will lift, leg across the body. Feel free to gaze over your left shoulder to complete your twist here. With your next inhale, guide your left leg back overhead, and then release the strap. You're finished with it. Hug your knees into your chest. Stay here or open up into a happy baby, capturing for outer edges of feet, ankles, or behind your knees. Feel free to find a little side-to-side sway or any other movements that you'd like before Shavasana. And when you're ready for Shavasana, feel free to stretch out and to soak in all of the benefits of your practice. I'll leave you here in Shavasana today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope this felt great. Love you. Namaste.